I've been slowly picking away at reading this book. You can see the title there. It's called Soils and Men, a Yearbook of Agriculture, 1938. And it's really interesting. I mean, 1938 would have been post-World War I, post-Great Depression, pre-World War II. And the book is talking about the effects of agriculture on the general economy, and the population of the country at the time, which was pretty stagnant, actually, and a concern, according to this book, that the United States was just flatlining, and that couldn't compete without a growing population. Of course, we know a few years after this, World War II happens, and then the baby boom, and our population just skyrockets. But the book was talking about how there was a need to lay idle millions of acres of farmland in the United States in an attempt to take people out of farming and move them into urban populations, to get them out of poverty, because there was just too many farmers at the time, and it was causing some very severe economic hardships for a lot of them, especially on the submarginal farmland. And of course, now we know that at this point in our history now, that we're in right now, the opposite is kind of true. We need more farmers. We have an aging farm population that is looking to retire soon, and there are no young people coming in, and we need all the farmland we can get to feed a population that still continues to grow. So it's been a very interesting book to read. I mean, it doesn't sound like it would be very interesting, a book published by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. But for me, a history buff and a farmer, it's been very eye-opening to how much the world can change in really a relatively short amount of time. I mean, we're talking just a little over 80 years ago. And when you start to think about how slow the engine of industry can change, or seems to change, there can be a lot of change in a short amount of time. And I think World War II probably drove the majority of the change that happened, because World War II drove a lot of people from the farm to the cities to work in the factories that built the machines for the war. And it took a lot of the young men from the farms to war, and those that came home didn't necessarily go back to the farm. So that's my thought for today. This is Jeremy. Keep it green.